Space Legend here to talk about roofs in Sons of the Forest. There's a lot of different variety of the roof feature, and a lot of the people that I'm seeing build out there, they're pretty much just putting the basic stuffs together. So I wanted to put together a video with every roof structure that I've been able to come up with in this game and see if it gives you some inspiration for your next build. I am using the free camera for this. You can see my character right here. I don't know if any of you guys have ever seen yourself before. That's what your character looks like. But I'm using the free camera because I thought it would just be easier to fly into the structures here. Starting with the first one here, this is the cabin. It's pretty much the same one from the book itself, the build book. I built this one from scratch just because they're super easy to throw together in creative mode when you can use unlimited logs. But this is if you just need to get out of the rain, you want something to shelter your bed from, this will do the trick. You just use the floor as part of your roof structure. There's no point, there's no cap, there's nothing really special about it. Again, it just gets the job done. Next up is pretty much the same as the cabin, but this one does have a pointed roof to it. You build the same framework and then you just add one log going up and put up all the diagonal beams so that way you can lay your roof down. To lay the roof down, it's the exact same as the ramps. All you have to do is just put an angled piece down, two angled pieces down, and then lay your framing down on top of that. So again, very basic structure, just a 2x2. That's something to take note of. If you have an even number of walls, you're going to be able to make a point on your roof. If you have an odd number of walls, there's going to be a flat surface at the top of your roof. So depending on what kind of design you want, you have to plan it from the ground up. If you want a point on it, you have to have even numbers. If you want a flat top, you're going to have odd numbers. So with this one, we're going to call it the Outhouse. It's a 1x1 structure, but to create this one, you set up your 4 posts, and then using a half log and a quarter log, you stack them on top of each other on top of the frame to create this triangle, lay 2 logs down diagonally, and then you can roof the sides of it. It's a really simple build. It looks great if you're just doing like a storage shed, again, an outhouse, that type of thing, because you can't really fit anything in it aside from maybe a chair or a bed, you know, some basic furniture, just to kind of have a little additional feature to a base that you're building. This is a lean-to style build. It's pretty much the same concept as the other one, but instead of having to put down the half log and the quarter log, you just set up another wall on one side of it, make that wall complete, throw down a couple diagonals, roof it, and then you go back and put in the side wall that you see right here. Really simple build to just kind of attach to the side of a house, attach to the side of a base. Just a nice little addition. I make garages out of those with the golf cart. Back here, we're getting into our bigger builds, the more advanced structures. This is a 3x3. You see the roof here. Again, I said that with odd numbers, you can't do the pointed roof. You have to do a flat top on them. And so this one, it goes up into the single point. You'll see some of the framework inside of here. I always put a rope inside of these so that way I can create this little lookout widow's walk type situation up on top of them. When you do the 1x1 though, you can't have a fully fenced in area because you climb the rope and then fall right back down, and it's just not a good idea. On these two structures, I really want to also highlight the skylights that you can put into your roofs. This one is created by using the stairs and then removing every other stair. I did get it from another video. I'll link that video in the comments because credit is due to that creator who showed me how to do this one. The other style, of course, is just using the ramps, removing every other one. It looks like I left one on there still, so I'll have to remove that afterwards, but that's another style of skylight. Looking at this structure itself, it's another 3x3, but as you can see, this one's a little bit bigger on top and has a 3-frame widow's walk, which is how I like to set these up. They give you great hunting balconies so you can shoot some cannibals with your rifle, but the sides of them were created kind of similar to how we did the outhouse and the lean-to. You do all your framing and then you come back in here with some logs just to cap the sides of them. That's the other style of skylight, the third style of skylight. You can now actually just go up to the ramps with your axe and cut some holes into them. And so if you want to get some extra light, some natural light into your bases, that's my new ideal way of doing it, is just cutting regular skylights. Again, I like to create these widow's walks on top of these type of bases that don't give you the point option, but you can set up something like this. You could bring it to a point using the same principle that I showed you in the outhouse. However, why sacrifice this awesome little watchtower that you can set up so you can kind of snipe some mutants from far away? Getting a little bit bigger here, this is a 4x4, again, even numbers, so we can go up to the point. I put a skylight in this one too, just because why not? You know, we might as well have some skylights in it. Inside, you can see the amount of framing that it takes. You can kind of start applying some of the principles that you've already learned from the easier builds into these more intricate and larger ones. This one is only a 4x4. It's still a square, so it's a really basic one if you want a lot of space. This is a really cool one because this one can be supported with only a few beams inside of it. So definitely check this one out if you want something nice. This one over here is a 2x4, so it does go up to the perfect point, and then using the same outhouse principles and lean-to principles, you can cap off the sides of your roof. Great for a little pavilion. I personally think that this is one of the best structures to build if you don't care too much about base building. Like, you can get a bed in here, you can get the fireplace, you can get a lot of the other miscellaneous things that you need without really having to build too much. So definitely recommend this type of structure for those who are just trying to get through the game but still want to build something relatively cool. Let's get more into some advanced building techniques like the corner here. Now, I know this one may look a little complicated, but I left it uncapped so we can just fly right inside of it, and you can see how this is set up. The principles are the exact same thing as everything that we've been learning, and once you go to actually set up the corner, the diagonals just fall right into place. And so it's just like creating a regular roof. You can do it on the corners, and it makes it really easy. So once you've learned how to do the corner, you can set up 3-way and 4-way intersections on your roof and really build out some intricate structures. This entire structure, it's 2 wide, 2 wide, 2 wide, 2 wide. It all converges into a 4x4 in the middle, so we can have this perfect setup. So inside, you see it's just like setting up a basic 2x2 building. You're just kind of connecting it all. This entire structure only has that one central support beam. That's all that it needs to last. And so you can see how easy it is to have a lot of space inside of your builds if you just know how to structure your roofs together. All right, this last one is going to be really complicated, and that's how to create the gable roof in Sons of the Forest. As you can see, this is what a gable looks like. You kind of have to trick the game a little bit into letting you build one of these. And so I'm going to actually show you how to build one real fast. So first thing we're going to do is lay down all of our support beams just like you normally would. Then you put all of your gridding in so that way you can get up to the second level. Once we get up to the second level, you start by putting the 2 sides in first. Get them all the way built up until they are pretty much ready to be roofed. Then you go ahead and grab a half log here. This is where it gets a little tricky. We essentially have to trick the game mechanics into letting us do this. Put down some half logs right in the middle where you would normally put those larger beams. Then you're going to take a regular long log and go back up there and lay it across both of them just like that. You grab your half log again and go right back up, but this time jump up on top of this setup you just made, and it'll give you a new option to place that half log back in the middle. Those are at the same height as the sides that you've already put up. So now what we need to do is trick the game a little bit further. Drop down the 2 diagonals and start by putting a little piece of roof down. Well, you know what? Let's go ahead and finish this off real fast. We'll put on the back of it so that way it's just nice and complete, and then get these top support beams in as well. Again, you got to build the roofs in steps. Otherwise, this one specifically won't work. So just put a little one piece of that down. And let me show you why. I'm going to actually, you know what? Let me explain it again. Let me back up and put this down, because what we need to do is put this on the edge of the roof to create the gable. But if I go up there right now with this half log, it's going to try to just raise that beam up like you see here, and that's not the look that we want. So let's get rid of this. Let's put the logs down right, and then we'll trick the game again. So we'll put down this diagonal again, then put just one piece of roof down. And what this does by putting the one piece of roof down is it prevents us from being able to lift this up when we go to put the half log down. So I get back up here and you see, oh, sorry about that. And you see up here, if I go over to this side, I can now put these down just like they are in the middle. So we've kind of created this weird situation where half of the logs are kind of shooting through each other, but just trust the process. I know it looks really weird right now. You're essentially creating a grid up here inside of the roof. So it's going to look weird until it gets capped. Again, just trust the process. So we put this across here, and then from here, we have to do what we did on the outhouse build. We need the different sizes of logs, and they need to go down first so that we can create this end cap style. So let's cut this up. We got halves, we got quarters. Honestly, I didn't need to do that. I'm in creative mode. I could have just opened up my inventory, but sometimes you just want to cut a log, am I right? So we climb back up here, and we're going to go ahead and put this right on top. You just got to kind of play with the angles. There's a lot going on in this space right here, and so just kind of keep wiggling your mouse around, and eventually you will find the angle that you're looking for instead of it trying to just constantly create these supports. There we go. So after you put down your half first, then drop that, switch over, grab a quarter log, get back up, and you want to put the quarter log on top of that half log you just laid down. I am struggling to do this. Let's go ahead. You know what? I'm gonna build a ramp real fast to get up to this roof, just to make things super simple for myself. All right, that'll make things a lot better. So what we're gonna do here, we're gonna grab that quarter log again, like I was saying, and that goes on top there. Go back here, goes on top there, and now we grab a full log, and this full log is gonna go down the side of this. Again, we got a lot of stuff going on back here, so just finagle yourself around, and you should be able to find the arrows that you see on the screen here. That's what you're looking for, and that's how you do the back end. Then here, we're gonna go ahead and do the same, and then put this final piece in across to give you the option to create roofs on the side. So as you can see, let me switch over here. I can create a roof this way, and if I go up just a little bit more, I can create a roof using that existing piece that we laid down right at the beginning. You just got to kind of, again, situate it right, and then you can get it going. So let's go ahead and add in the rest of these panels here so you can see what's going on. So after you add the last one, you can then re-wall that and get rid of this final bottom piece of roof, and it completes the gable look. And then you go over to the sides and you just cap the sides. It's literally this simple to produce. If you want to go down a little bit further, you can create it a little bit further, but this is how you set up the gable. This last one I set up is kind of just a combination of every single build technique, except for the gable, inside of one base simultaneously. I think the only thing different here is the balcony. This was created by a quarter log and a half log on top of each other, and then just a slight slope down. Yes, your characters can walk underneath it. They can't right at the corner there, right at the tip, but they can get in there and then all the way up to the window there. So it is effective if you want to go and look at it, but you will get snagged on the end. Inside of here, you can just kind of see what a large base roof looks like when you start kind of playing with the different angles. So there's a curve right there, so that way we could have a little extension on the side. For the most part, this thing is mostly capped. I think it doesn't go to a perfect corner because it's an odd number of framework on the bottom. But again, this is what you can do with the roofing if you just get a little creative with it. If I missed any of the different types of roofs, or if you guys want to show me something that you have created, I love to hear from you guys in the comments. If you're playing Sons of the Forest, make sure to hit like and subscribe if you like Sons of the Forest or any base building content. We're going to help you guys figure out how to get the most out of your base building video games. Thank you guys for watching this one. And if you want to see the 7 best base locations for you to build a base in this game, go ahead and check out this video right here.